This program is brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?
Public transportation is an essential part of every country's economic growth, as it affords individuals the opportunity to conveniently travel from point A to point B, especially those who are unable to afford private cars, by way of taxis, minibuses and buses. However, this service does not come at no cost. There's a fee attached to every journey. In the case of Botswana, the Department of Road Transport and Safety stipulates these prices and adjusts them when necessary. This is in spite of the transport operators working this as a private business, as they use their own resources to buy, service and run their fleets of taxis, buses and minibuses. To put this into context, let us use Zambia and South Africa's systems as our case studies. In Zambia, public transport operators through the Bus and Taxi Owners Association of Zambia set the prices for their businesses, although they are to be approved by the Road Transport and Safety Agency under the country's Ministry of Transport and Communications. In South Africa, public transport in the form of minibuses and taxis was considered a private business that is not regulated since the apartheid era. Although it has its own challenges, privatizing public transportation has been shown to improve on service delivery, employ more people, and create competition that improves overall efficiency within the business. Despite these facts, the Department of Road Transport and Safety continues to interfere in the price regulation of public transport. But should public transport operators be afforded the opportunity to regulate these prices, the benefits would range from effective public transport for the public, less queues at bus ranks and stations, and of course improved quality of service and fleet, amongst a plethora of other benefits. If these are the facts, it would then suffice to wonder why it is necessary to regulate public transport fees here and what factors are considered when setting these prices even. Bear in mind, the prices of such crucial needs as food, clothing and shelter are not regulated in our country. Before we hear from the regulator, First Issues speaks to the chairman of the Taxis Association, Edison Tlomelang, who says they are unhappy that they do not regulate their affairs as public transport operators.
About 10 years back, the consultant, government of Botswana, Tlhogo Spain, Tlhogo defense of Botswana. Memo reporting ya bona ba supile gore ha ona le kombi le ngwe hela na taxi le ngwe hela ga e ka ke a reka ye nngwe gore madi a teng ka reka ye nngwe o thoba bona bona le dikombi di le more than one, more than two. O mongwe ba rekisitse dikgomo, o mongwe a rekisitse setse yone hela ka bo yone ga e kgone gore e ka ikoketsa ka mabaka a gore ga o leba in the whole of Southern Africa ke rona hela ba ileng gore di first tsa rona di kwa tlase gore le go Zimbabwe tota go teng di tlhwatlhwa di kwa tlase. I mean di tsholelo a teng go tlase. Transport ya duela $1, $1 is equivalent to 10 pula plus, and go Zimbabwe go duela bo $1, bo $2, bo $3 re wa ma 30 pula kwa no bo go duedise 4 pula le tle le bone ha gongwe ke tsa ke re no ntse o le teng.
Tlomelang added that they wish the DRTS would devise regulations that could empower them, even allowing them to self-regulate as a sector.
Self-regulation is DRTS e ka dira melao e conducive e ka re kgontshang gore re tle re regulate e ka re empowerang re le di-association e ka empowerang the operators nna se ke se eletsang ke gore re bapile le South Africa a go ka rana transport ko South Africa as a member of a recognized association. Now in Namibia, Zimbabwe, you mentioned them, all SADC countries. Ke rona kwano hela.
We are joined by Acting Director at the Department of Road Transport and Safety, Godwin Tlhogo, who says regulation of public transport fares by the organization has been a tradition since time immemorial and is done after consultation with all relevant stakeholders, including the operators.
All along we have been regulating the fares of particularly the commercial vehicle, which are taxis, combis and buses. It has been a practice and a tradition that the department will regulate that. And we do that through the process that we start consultation with the relevant stakeholders. That is, we involve the bus association, the tax associations when it comes for the review of the fares. So everybody is taken into considerations. And we hope that the government also take cognizance of that he will play the role of, the issue of passengers. Government try to, to advocate for passengers so that the fares doesn't go high.
Botswana is a free market economy that does not regulate the prices of food, shelter, amongst other essential needs. This is, however, not the case for the prices of public transport fares for taxis and buses, which the acting director says are a result of consultation between the DRTS, the Taxis and Bus Association, and the public.
Every player is consulted when it comes into the issue of review, into fare review. As a department, also, we have that responsibility to take some surveys on the public, to hear their concern, to ask them if the reviews can go high, what will happen. And on the other side, the association, they take into cognizance their operations. So we think actually there is a field, the field of playing is leveled.
Despite our repeated efforts to get the acting director to tell us why the air and rail transport services were not regulated, our efforts proved futile. If you find that justifiable as a means of protecting your consumer, the consumer, why are the transport fares for airplanes and your railroad not regulated as well?
Unless we have a very powerful association that can be recognized, then I think that is where we can sit down and negotiate and see whether they are in a position now to take over. And in addition to that, I would say there has not been any complaints as far as everything is concerned. I know sometimes the operators would like things to be done quickly and say this year, because of certain increases, petrol has increased, why don't we increase? But that comes as a result that we need to sit down and deliberate on the matter and agree.
In your benchmarking exercises and your travels to other countries, have you not considered the benefits of liberalizing this sector in our country and what has happened in that?
Other countries have moved that way. But like I said, we have not reached a stage where we would say now the operators or the association, please take over. But if they think they are now prepared, they can do good work, good thing, then I think the government will reconsider and see whether we should now play the role of regulating on the side of compliance and leave out the fares to them.